So the veil has come off, and we can now see the circus. Biden finally admits that China's trying to fucking eat our lunch, and they are trying to become a world superpower. In finance, the Suez Canal next to Egypt is closed up. Get ready to pay more for your gas because Mr. Biden decided that, no, we don't need to be reliant on our own energy. We need to get energy from the Middle East. Also, remember how in previous podcasts I had mentioned about the credit bureau? Well, it looks like the government wants to create their own credit bureau and cancel out Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. In entertainment, we move over to Miami Beach. Apparently, Miami Beach is in a state of emergency due to all the spring break people being batshit fucking crazy, essentially fucking on the streets. So yeah, some crazy fucking shit happening there. And lastly, in our gun corner, we're going to talk about how the ATF is saying, well, we're unable to ban all this shit that we want to ban. So how about we redefine what firearm is, and then like that we can fucking do whatever we want. And lastly, in that gun corner, Hunter Biden proves that gun control doesn't work. How? Stay tuned. Thank you for joining us at the Hot OTM Podcast. Transmitting from sunny Southern California, capital of entertainment, beautiful ladies, and great whiskey. You're listening to the Hot OTM Podcast, where we discuss politics, guns, entertainment, music, and all the controversial topics we can find. Here are your hosts, Hector Robles and Christian Mejia.
I see stiff competition with China. China has an overall goal, and I don't criticize them for the goal, but they have an overall goal to become the leading country in the world, the wealthiest country in the world, and the most powerful country in the world. That's not going to happen on my watch.
Biden finally admits that China wants to eat our lunch. I got something right here that they could eat. A big brown and yellow long thing. And they know where they could put it. But anyway, essentially what's happening is Biden finally came out and he admitted that that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to become the most powerful country in the world. It's funny, though, how he switched his tune. Before the election, he basically was saying that everyone was stupid for even believing that that's what they were trying to do. Now that he's the president, oh yeah, that's exactly what they're trying to do, but I'm not going to let that happen. Sure, Joe. Sure, Mr. Sleepy Joe. I'm sure you're the one who's going to stop it. So these Western companies, essentially, they were trying to ride the fence. They're trying to not be political per se, but say that we have nothing to do with these horrible atrocities that the CCP is doing. And now the CCP is saying, no, you either say that you're our bitch, or you can't fucking do business in China. And essentially, these are companies, major companies like Nike, Apple, Intel, Boeing, just Caterpillar, just to name a few here. So this isn't just your Joe Schmo that's selling shit on eBay. These are big time companies. And if you ask me, I think they're going to bend over and take the banana. I think that's what's going to happen. These fuckers are greedy and they'll take the money. But we'll find out what these guys do. It was just interesting how this whole thing has changed and it's evolved, because before, China was this great place where all these companies can go and they can get cheap labor. Now that China has them by the balls and they're making all their production and everything's there, now it's like, you do what I tell you or you die. So that's kind of what's happening right now with our politics. It was just sweet revenge to be able to see how they took manufacturing out of our country here and shipped it over to China, and now it's payback. So that's all I gotta say. Fuck you guys. And don't fucking buy Apple shit, okay? Do not buy an Apple computer, an Apple phone, because those pieces of shit are using slave labor. But anyway, I digress. All right, so we're going to move on over to finance. Today in finance, an interesting thing has happened. There's something called the Seuss Canal, and it is closed. This is right basically in between Egypt and Saudi Arabia, I believe. And essentially, there's a boat, and if I remember correctly, this boat is the size of two air, what are they, air carriers? Like the Navy carriers that take airplanes. Anyway, so it's the size of two of those, and this cargo ship is stuck, blocking all the lanes, and there's no shipments coming in. And you're like, well, what the heck does that have to do with finance? Well, good old Sleepy Joe essentially stopped the Keystone pipeline, right? So now we're dependent on oil from the Middle East, and it has to go through that canal. So now that oil is being blocked, and all kinds of commodities are being blocked. So now expect within the next week or so, gas is going to start going up. Everything is going to go up because that they were saying that it could take anywhere between a few weeks to a few months for them to get that boat out of that lane. And like I said, they're transporting frozen beef, obviously oil to make gas or diesel, and many other products. At first, it's going to affect the European countries more because they're the ones that use a lot of that shipping lane, but it does affect America as well. So that's kind of what's happening, and it's really crazy because it is going to affect us. That's kind of what's going on in finance. With that, there is something else that I found very interesting in finance. I know in previous podcasts, we've talked about the credit bureaus. And at first I'm like, well, how are they going to manipulate us having a credit score with our browsing history and things like that? So that was kind of like, I just didn't see how they were going to do that. Biden has come out saying that they want to change the credit score system, the entire system. They want to revamp it. They're saying, well, things such as like your rent isn't shown on there, your light, your electricity, all these things are not shown on your credit report, but you pay them every month. So they're going to start reporting these things, but not to Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax. No. They're starting a government database, and they're going to control this. So they're going to have your own score. And now it makes sense, because if they get rid of the credit bureaus and they make this a public federal database, then they could add whatever they want to give you that credit score, like what the Chinese people will do. So at first it's going to sound beautiful. It's going to sound great. But trust me, this is how they're going to lead us down that road. So they can choose whatever system they want. They're going to manipulate it to exactly that Chinese style kind of a system. I didn't see it before, and now I'm seeing exactly how they're going to connect those dots. I'm very suspicious of this. They're going to try to pitch it in this other way, because they were saying that these creditors can keep stuff on your credit report for 7 years. However, they're going to be changing that to 4 years. So they're going to sell it to us like, oh, this is a great thing for all of us. We all pay our bills, our rent, and our utilities. And, these things shouldn't be on your on your credit report for 7 years. It's only going to be for 4 years. And this is all going to be run by the government. We all know how fucking great the government runs shit, right? Look at Medi-Cal. These guys can't fucking run shit. but they're going to run your credit report. So that was something that was kind of a bombshell of news and finance. So wanted to mention that. I do want to move over to entertainment. And in entertainment, this doesn't have to do with Hollywood. This is the entertainment area in Miami. I don't know if you guys saw this, but Florida is one of the few free states right now with the lockdowns. They've been open for quite a while. So congratulations to Florida. But apparently all the spring breakers decided to go to Florida and fuck shit up over there. So it is getting out of control to the point where the Miami Beach is in a state of emergency because shit is out of control. There's like, I saw some videos and there was girls, in thongs dancing all around. I even saw a video where if I saw it correctly, there was some dude banging a girl in the middle of the street and just a big ass crowd around them just watching the live action play by play. So, it was getting pretty fucking nuts. A lot of people were upset because this thing has been going on for a while now, for a lot of days. And so the city of Miami apparently put like curfew. And so that was in the entertainment section of Miami. But just wanted to mention that. I don't know if you guys saw that in the news or not, but to our editor, make sure you show us a little clip of that craziness that's happening on there. All right. With that being said, the gun corner. Hunter Biden has proved that background checks don't work. And you're going to say like, what? How does he prove that criminals, that these laws for gun laws don't stop criminals from obtaining guns? Well, apparently Hunter had a gun in 2018 and there was an investigation essentially that had happened and the Secret Service was involved. So they were trying to look for that gun to see where it had gone. And I guess the raunchy part of this story is that Hunter Biden was dating his dead brother's wife. So that's some raunchy shit right there. But anyway, so that his girlfriend at that time took the gun, and so the Secret Service was trying to find the gun. And when they were doing that, some records revealed that Hunter Biden put that he did not use any drugs. However, we all know that there's pictures of him with crack pipes, and as a matter of fact, even the U.S. military had got rid of him because of his drug use. So he obviously lied on that form. So this is a criminal who lied on the form, made a federal offense, which technically is a felony, and it didn't stop him from getting a gun. So again, these laws, you have any people who, I'm sure that there's plenty of people who do drugs that are going to lie on these background check situations. So the only people it's inconveniencing and fucking up are law-abiding citizens, because the criminals are still going to lie, cheat, and steal. So to me, it was fucking ridiculous. But anyway, so this idiot, apparently he's probably going to get away with it because he's the son of the president. And rich people have different laws than normal people, which it shouldn't be. But we all know that there's different laws. Just look at Hillary Clinton. How many crimes has that bitch not committed? But nothing's happened to her so far. Hopefully Jesus Christ is hearing me and strike that fucking bitch down. But anyway, we'll move on from there. Okay, the next thing with the gun corner. The ATF had a meeting with some industry gun people. And if they can't take your guns legally, guess what they'll do? They want to change the definition of a firearm so they can take whatever the fuck they want. Can you believe this shit? I think if I remember correctly, didn't the Biden administration say we are only going to tax the rich? The rest of you will not get taxed. But hold on. They changed the definition of rich. So the same thing with the guns. These motherfuckers can't get what they want. So they're going to change the definition of what a firearm is. And if some of you may know, the definition of a firearm right now is the lower receiver of a gun. So like on an AR, it's the lower part of the gun where your trigger's at. Same thing with like a regular gun. It's the lower part where the gun is at, the slide and everything on top is not considered a firearm. But they want to adjust this so they can kind of adjust what they consider a firearm. So essentially more regulations for law-abiding people, because criminals don't give a fuck about your laws. There's already laws against murder. There's already laws against all kinds of shit. But has that stopped anybody from killing people? No. I think there's still people being fucking murdered. So anyway, so I think the main point that the ATF is doing this, it's because there's something called ghost guns. Essentially what it is, it's like guns that are not fully completed, that you still have to drill holes and do things, or so they're like a template. And I think that that's the angle they're trying to attack. But essentially, why? I don't understand, and this is what boggles my mind. If you have a drunk driver kill people with the vehicle, right? Would you go after all drivers because of what that person has done? No, right? Because that person did something fucking stupid and killed people. So why do they do the same thing with guns? Why do they say, well, you know, that one person, they committed these crimes, and on top of it, they'll jump to these conclusions. Like, perfect example is that shooting that happened where it looked like it was a white guy, and they automatically came out and said, oh, it was a white guy who killed all these people, and it was with an AR. And now, I mean, the whole media was jumping on this shit. We need to ban ARs. And now they find out that it's not an AR. It was a pistol that was not an AR. And on top of it, it wasn't a white guy. It was some Muslim dude. So, I mean, to me, it's just like, it didn't fit their narrative. So now they're kind of being quiet about that shit. But as soon as that shit happened, they're like, oh, no, it's a white supremacist. These white people, these white nationalists always trying to, you know, kill people. We need to protect everyone else. Fucking crazy motherfuckers. But I do think that we're winning, though. Again, I think that we're winning this war because this shows the frustration from the ATF that they can't legally take those guns. And they keep on pushing Biden to try to do some executive order to make guns illegal. Like basically trying to get him to pass certain bills through an executive order. But I think that Biden knows that it won't stand for very long since it's going to infringe on people's constitutional rights. So they're trying to get it passed through Congress and the Senate, but they're having a really hard time. So I do think that they're starting to get really frustrated. And this is thanks to everyone kind of speaking up and, you know, all the viewers, you know, speaking up, calling their congressmen, their senators. And so that's the positive thing of all of this, you know, that we are making a change. All right, I want to thank you guys all. That's pretty much it for the show today. I want to thank you for tuning in. If this is your first time here with us, please share, subscribe. I hope that we have earned your subscription. If not, hopefully we can do that in the next one. Thank you again, everybody, and you guys all have a great night. Thank you for joining us today. If you enjoyed the podcast, please rate, subscribe, and share. If you would like to donate, please join us on Subscribestar. Thank you again from all of us here at the OTM Podcast, and you have a great night.